Hey guys, good afternoon. So as I said, I was going to do last week, but then I just was too tired and didn't get around to it. So since I was home in the afternoon, I was like, all right, let's just watch this freaking thing. So as I mentioned in my podcast, most of my Star Wars knowledge is basically through, the original trilogy and then the prequels, and of course I watched all three of the sequel movies as well as Rogue One. Rogue One was pretty good. So I haven't really watched much of the Star Wars shows. I've seen clips here and there, The Mandalorian, and I watched Obi-Wan, which I did actually really like. Some people didn't like it. I actually thought Obi-Wan was pretty good. And I don't know if it's just because it was a recognizable character in the lead or what, but there's some kind of nostalgia there here and there for that. But I don't know. We'll see how things are. But anyway, so I figured, all right, I'm going to try to give these Star Wars shows a chance because a lot of people that are really diehard. Let me close this door. Light's coming in here. They're really diehard Star Wars fans that read the books and watch all the cartoons and everything like that, or being like, and basically said that Disney has ruined Star Wars. And we could talk about the sequel movies if you want sometime, but I like to give things an open chance, whether they turn out good or not. Like, I am looking forward to watching Andor and Osaka and stuff like that, just because I've heard pretty good things about them. I haven't heard such good things about Acolyte. I've heard some good positive things here and there, but overall it's just been kind of like, yeah, that's a thing. And then I found out they're not getting a second season. They just got canceled. But, as it goes. But of course there's been like a lot of, and it's happened with the Marvel stuff too, where people have just been like the kind of fanboy enraged, and it's just like, there's things that annoy me here and there. I won't deny that, especially when I talk about the show. But but I'm not like, I don't think anything's ruined Star Wars. I just think to me, Star Wars was basically like, hey, we had a great original trilogy with recognizable, fun characters that we liked, an awesome villain that, in my frankly opinion, has never been topped. As a villain, no one is as cool as Darth Vader. Sorry, not sorry. So I think that's the problem with it. Whereas something like Star Trek, and like I said, I wouldn't even consider myself a Trekkie or Star Wars. I'm kind of like, I like them both, and elements of both. But like, I wouldn't say like, I'm diehard this. But like, I feel like with Star Trek, there's a little more like variety of villains that you have, or the different alien races and things like that. That I think is handled better, whereas I feel like Star Wars is, for the most part, has been tied to the whole Skywalker thing, from Darth Vader to Luke to Rey's connection and all that stuff. So I think that it's all kind of one thing. So it's good in a way that they're trying to branch out and not rely on the Skywalker thing as like, and here's Luke. But like, it's also like, I don't know, it feels like, I don't want to say it feels too late, but it also just feels like, I don't know. It feels just like content for content's sake and not really putting a huge effort in. But, like I said, I'm going to try to give things an open chance. I'm going with an open mind. I'm not going in with like, well, I hate this already. Because that's not what I'm trying to be. I want to come into something, I watched Miss Marvel when that show's on. I've watched She-Hulk, which, obviously, you see a review of that. I have my problems with that. But, I'm not one of those people that's like a troll or a diehard hater of something who's gonna go online and I'm gonna bash you on Twitter. I'm not bullying anybody as an actor or director or anything like that. Look, people are making money and they're doing things and they're trading things, and sometimes they do it vindictively, and that's really unfortunate, because it's like, why work on something if you don't have any joy for it? And you don't have to be a diehard fan to work on a project. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but you should at least have some joy in what you're doing, because otherwise, why do it? I mean, I'm an actor. I've acted on stage mostly, but it's like, I'm not someone who is just like, well, I absolutely hate this process and I hate being in this thing and I hated every minute of being in it. Glad I stuck around. Granted, I've never quit a show. There was one that I did once that I probably should have, but I still stuck it out because I'm like, all right, well, maybe some joy will come with this. But anyway, that was a segue there that I don't know why I talked about for 5 minutes. Anyway, but I just want to give basically a good opening going into this of where my knowledge is. So I don't want to make people feel like, well, I am only for this. For Anna's opinion, it's basically like original trilogy, and she doesn't really care than that. And that's not anything like hatred towards any of the shows or things that they're doing. Just kind of like, well, we watched the trilogy together, the sequel trilogy, and well, actually, she didn't see Rise of Skywalker with me. I went and saw that by myself, unfortunately. But I mean, it was okay. But it's there's things that I would definitely. A later video after I've gone through these shows, I'll go through what I would have done with some of the trilogy stuff to fix certain things. But yeah, and I had some issues with the prequels too, but that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, let's get to the crux of this video. And the first show that I'm starting with is The Acolyte, which was just recently on and finished their first season. Their only season because it got canceled. So I decided, okay, I would just take a couple notes here and there of things that stuck out as good or bad or in the middle. So let me just say, first off, it looks very much like Star Wars. It's got the scenery. They spent a lot of money on it, so you'd hope it would look decent. It looks decent as far as Star Wars land. It feels like I'm in a Star Wars world. It doesn't feel like non-Star Wars. I know some people are like, no, it's not the same. It's like, well, yeah, they're on different planets, and it's supposed to be from the past, I guess, before all the Skywalker characters and stuff like that. So okay, I mean, it's interesting they want to sort of go to the Old Republic thing. I guess that's fine. Like I said before, I don't have that much knowledge of them. I didn't read most of those books, so I just okay. I just kind of go along with the ride. I have no connection to any of these characters. I have no idea who they're supposed to be or why they're here. I've heard of Darth Plagueis. I guess he appears sometime in the show. One thing I've been told about, but okay. Ultimately, like I said, I know of Darth Vader and the Emperor. That's as far as villains go. That's okay. Anyway, so like I said, looks good as far as Star Wars goes. Planets are good. The aliens look okay. As far as the alien creatures, they look like aliens, which is fine. Let me just say the dialogue is pretty bad. And granted, Star Wars dialogue itself overall, if you look back to the prequels, was George Lucas' screenwriting was never his strong point. So it's not as if I'm expecting great dialogue or overall great acting, so to speak, in a Star Wars film. Just like you don't always look for that in a Marvel film or a DC film or anything like that. But you still want to see some effort being made. And some of the dialogue is just really, really cringy and bad, and some bad humory stuff too, where you're just like, okay, that was a thing that just happened. Interesting. So that is what we got. So let me also just say lots of bad wigs in this thing. Our main character's wig is pretty bad looking. It looks really bad. And then there's another character named Yord that has that stupid wig that they keep putting on African American men and these things. And it's a bad looking haircut. And it's just like, why are you doing this? Please get that stupid wig off. It's like, I've seen that actor in things. He was on You. So it's like, I know that, he deserves better than this. So, beginning scene, we basically have one of our main characters. I guess it's May, but everybody thinks it's this other character, Osha, who's her twin. May is supposedly supposed to be... This, by the way, spoilers, just so you know. May is supposed to be dead because there was apparently this big fire when they were kids, and she perished apparently. But as we find out, she's not really dead, so the usual routine there. So anyway, they go in, they confront a character played by Carrie-Anne Moss, who's a master Jedi, in a bar, and then I'll say it right from the start. I don't like the main actress. I don't think she's a good actress. I hated her in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That movie is horrible. I've never found her to be compelling. I don't think she uses enough emotion when she acts. It just feels very wooden and bland. And I know it's a Star Wars thing. Sometimes acting and stuff, but I just feel like there were better actresses they could have hired for this role. I'm just going to say that. And that's nothing personal against her. I'm sure she's a lovely person. I I don't find her acting compelling, and this is our main character. So, not off to a great start there. So anyway, she is pretty small. I don't know what size she is, but she looks maybe 5'2"-ish. And she proceeds to take out like everybody in this bar with ninja fighting skills, I guess, which are a thing, I guess. And then, has a big fight with Carrie-Anne Moss. And Carrie-Anne Moss, she still looks good. And I mean, like I said, she was badass in Matrix, so it's like, that's cool. Carrie-Anne Moss is in this. That's awesome. At least there's something, a reason to watch it, right? So it's like somebody I know, and it's a good actress and enjoyable, and she's given what she's given for the dialogue. But then they basically proceed to have a fight, and the character May, I believe, is got these two little daggers, really small little daggers. They're very small, and she's throwing them and stuff, and they're being taken out by the lightsaber, of course, as it should, because it's a lightsaber like this. Anyway, this is kind of a generic one, but that's what I had in the closet. So anyway, decent, okay fight, I guess. As far as a battle goes between daggers and a lightsaber. But then basically this one character, the bartender, alien character, makes a noise, and then Carrie-Anne Moss sees one of the daggers going towards him, so she uses her Jedi powers to stop him, of course. But then, look, another dagger goes right into her heart. Okay, so Jedis can be killed by little daggers. Okay, that's a choice. I'm not saying Jedis can't die from something. I'm just saying, why are we doing little daggers? What the fuck? So anyway, I'll comment on this later for the ending part. But yeah, opening scene, I'm already just like, well, Carrie-Anne Moss is out of the show. That's a point down. But I'm just like, and then it was just like, hey, you get to die in the first episode. Cool. Can I have my paycheck now? I'm going to go on doing better things. So anyway, then the other twin, Osha, wakes up and she works on the ship she's got a little droid because, everybody's got a droid. And she repairs this ship for this alien thing or whatever, and she's working on the ship and then proceeds to set this thing on fire. Fire in space. Fire in space. That's a thing. That happens in space, doesn't it? Yes. Fire in space. Yes. Very, very interesting. And then, of course, the Jedis come to let her know that she's basically being under arrest because they think that she killed... this guy Yord comes and and says they think that she killed this Jedi. And she's like, why would I do that? So they lock her up in this cell, and then basically we meet Master Soul, who's actually pretty cool. And I believe he's a Korean actor, and he learned English for this dialogue. And the dialogue itself is terrible, but I appreciate the effort. He's actually really trying, and he looks cool. And so I appreciate his acting effort. As opposed to our lead actress, who was just really wooden. So yeah, he's pretty cool. He's having a little session, and then this other actress comes in. She's all green alien skin. She's kind of bald, I guess is what we're going for. I've seen the actress before in things. She's decent. But I was like, oh, where have I seen her for? And then I immediately looked down. It's and she's married to the director. Okay, well, we know why she's in this show. Not that she's not talented, but it's just kind of well, we know how she got the part. But she proceeds to he's like, I know this, she was my Padawan, I need to go talk to her and bring her in. So just let me do this, let me take a small mission. And she finally agrees after some, arguments. And yeah. And so they're like, okay, cool. And then she basically proceeds to give the most unenthusiastic "May the Force be with you" I think I've ever heard. This is literally how she says it. May the Force be with you. Oh, is my cut? Can I cut now? Yeah, that's basically that. No emotion whatsoever. Not may the Force be with you. Something with enthusiasm. May the force be with you. Is it coffee break yet? That's what it felt like. Okay, well, thanks for giving that effort. Thanks for giving that effort. Anyway, so she's talking to these other prisoners. OSHA is talking to these other prisoners, and they're showing this guy. He's got this thing over his mouth. It's like a parasitic thing or something. I guess it's for hardened criminals or trying to keep them at bay or something. So then they plot an escape. They use her droid, I think, to kind of take control of the ship and take out some droids and escape. So then she's starting to go to the escape pod, but then sees the guy with the thing on his mouth and says, well, I should probably, maybe I'll help him. Because Osha's supposed to be the good twin, I guess, and is trying to help. So she's like, all right, I'm going to help this guy out. So she cuts the thing off his face, and then he proceeds to, like, move past her and jump in the last escape pod. Like, it's like freaking out of Spaceballs. Like, and just, like, I was waiting for the bear to be in the seatbelt. And then just like, well, that backfired. Guess I shouldn't have helped that guy because he left my ass the fuck behind. So that was actually, I legitimately laughed at that. That was, whether that was intentionally funny or not, I give him credit for that one. That was legitimately funny. And then Daphne Keene's character, she plays an alien, a Padawan, and she's going on the mission with Master Saul. And let's see, Daphne Keene, like I said, she's good. She's actually a good actress. I of course liked her in Logan and some of the other stuff I've seen her. And she's good. So she's given what she can with the dialogue. Like I said, dialogue writing very bad. And so yeah. Anyway, they're going the mission. She's like, "Who else is coming?" She's like, "Oh, Yord's coming." It's like fucking Yord, man. You always got to bring Yord along. Why you got to bring him along? And then he comes in and he's like shirtless or something like that. And then she's just like, Yord, please put a shirt on. Yeah, it's not like my brother. Like me and my brother used to have this running joke where like if it was super hot, like 90 or 100 degrees, I would I'd take my shirt off because it's too hot to wear a shirt. And then my brother would come in and just put like a blanket over me and say, "You're disgusting us." That's what it felt like to me. So I laughed at that too. So some good humor here and there. Other humor that I was just like, this feels Last Jedi bad in terms of stupid humor that doesn't need to be there. We're not doing a Marvel movie here, guys. It's not the MCU. So anyway, they go and they find her in this ice planet where she's crashed. It's not Hoth. I was hoping it was going to be Hoth, but it's not Hoth. It's this other Karlak or something like that. And it almost feels like The Fugitive because she's like right at the edge of this cliff and she's like, "I didn't kill them." And I was like, "You didn't kill my wife," and she almost falls, the main actress, and then, before that, she actually has this kind of connection with her sister, and so we see, like, younger versions of them as twins, and while I'm watching these young actresses, working with the dialogue, of course, but, like, I'm just like, these younger actresses are giving more of an effort than our lead actress here, and they're younger. You should be doing better than them, because they're kids, and kid actors can be great, don't get me wrong, but, like, a lot of times, if kid actors are starting out, you just give them patience and stuff like that. They're just kid actors. They're doing the best they can with the training they have. But I'm just like, these kids are out acting you right now in this role that you're playing. That you're playing dual roles as two twins. Oh yeah, and by the way, like one of the lines she says at the beginning was like, "Kill me, Jedi. Kill me, Jedi." That's exactly how she said it. And it's like, wow, that really sounded so ominous. I'm blown away by your acting ability. So anyway. Sorry, I don't mean to get off on a tangent with her. I don't think the actress is that good of an actress. But like I said, the kid actors did a good job. I thought they did a nice job. Anyway, so she's almost falls to her death. But like Master Soul saves her and they bring her in and stuff like that. And then we have this ominous thing of May walking towards this guy on a cliff, and he's like, "An acolyte can take out the Jedi. You cannot take them with lasers. You cannot take them out with weapons." And then there's a lightsaber, and that's how it ends. And I was just like, "Oh, you mean how she didn't totally kill the Jedi at the beginning with a dagger, which is a fucking weapon?" What the fuck? That was a dumb line, and they tried to make him so no ominous, But it's like, yeah, okay. This is gonna be our Sith Lord, I guess. But I'm just like, okay. It went by quick. I'll say that. I didn't feel like it didn't drag in terms of like, oh my god, is this fucking over yet? Like I've type shows like that where I'm just like, oh my god, this is boring. Like, it wasn't boring, but it's just kind of like, okay, this is where we're going. But it's just that line was just like, does not use weapons except for that weapon that you totally used to kill that Jedi. So okay, we're already contradicting ourselves. Off to a great start. So yeah, that is episode 1, Lost and Found. I'm not going to watch any more today. I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing. Maybe I'll watch 2 next weekend. Maybe I'll watch 1 on Friday, 1 on Saturday. But we'll see. We'll see how my week goes. But because sometimes I'm tired on Friday, so it's like, I don't want to do that. But I'm going to keep pushing through. I'll keep watching it. I will finish it for the good of you. Like I said, I'm going to try to watch all the Star Wars series that they currently have. I don't know if I'll watch the animated stuff or not, but I'll at least watch the live action to give you guys a review. I think there's a guy Skeleton Crew coming out soon with Jude Law. That looks okay. But anyway, that is my review for the Acolyte episode 1. So we can see that there are some problems, mainly dialogue and some bad acting. Like I said, it's nothing personal against the actress. I don't know her personally. I'm sure she's good in some stuff. I just don't find that she's giving enough. Because that's the thing. I'm not saying that Mark Hamill was the greatest actor ever as Luke Skywalker or anything like that, but I feel like he was at least giving effort. I still believe it. C-3PO, where could he be? But yeah, I want to go to Tashi Station and get power converted. I'm not saying that was the greatest acting either. So I might seem like I'm not just attacking her or something like that. Because there were some other actors, like I said, the one that's running the director. May the Force be with you. Yay. I'm in a Star Wars show. I'm so very fucking excited to be here. Like, it was so deadpan. I'm just like, wow, you clearly are thrilled to be here in this Star Wars show. Why don't you just say, I don't want to fucking be here. My wife put me in this damn show. Like I said, I've seen her in other things. She's a good actress, but she's definitely not giving effort here. Yeah, and I hope it doesn't come off like a bias towards the lead actress, because I just... Bodies. Oh my God. What a terrible film. Terrible film. And that's not her fault. She didn't make the film herself. But I can't forget that movie. I can't forget that movie. It's like I had a friend that, I think Lou Diamond Phillips was guest starring on 24. And I said, hey, Lou Diamond Phillips. And he's like, I've never forgiven him for bats. So that's the thing. I will never forgive her for bodies. Damn it. What a terrible film. Anyway, and I can understand what they were trying to go for with it. Anyway, let me wrap this up and not ramble about bodies, because this is an Acolyte review. And we're wrapping it up so I can get some dinner. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And like I said, I'll look up the reenactment for what I'm going to do. I just need to memorize the lines and time it out and make sure I'll do probably a couple test runs to make it look good. And then I will have a reenactment up as a short later. So, and obviously the pun of the day is up there too, so you can watch the pun of the day. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll be back next week with another review of The Acolyte. And like I said, once I finish The Acolyte, I'll go to a different show. Probably Andor next, I think, is probably my next choice. Andor or Ahsoka, one of those two. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your Saturday.